Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with another episode of interviewing different people around the world. Today we have very beautiful guest with us, and her name is Sabah Shamas. So, without wasting your time, Sabah Shamas, please give your introduction to our audience so they will get to know about you and our show.
Hello, Sheikh Shiraz. Hello, citizens of the world. Thank you for having me. My name is Shaba Shams, and I am the CEO of Shaba Enterprises, a podcaster of Shaba Speaks, and a founder of Shaba Academy. I am originally from Algeria, and I currently live in the United States, in the beautiful state of Florida. And I am very happy to be here.
That's so nice of you. I am really thankful to you for giving me your valuable time. So, my first question to you is basically relevant to our topic: how to become an influencer. It's a basic question. There are a lot of people around the world who want to become an influencer and change, first of all, their life. After that, the people around there. So, my first question to you is how to become an influencer.
Well, that is really a good question, and interesting you ask that because about a week ago, I heard the same question on social media. Somebody asking about how do you become an influencer, and the answers were really, really funny, including just post like some crazy adventures you do, jumping off a cliff or something like that. And really, we have to understand what influencer is about. So, influencer is about conveying information and knowledge that impacts people and improve lives. So, when some of you guys out there posting videos about, some insane things, you gain popularity, but it doesn't make you an influencer in the sense that you are adding value to people's lives. It might be entertaining, but are not influential. So to become an influencer, you already have to answer, you must have some questions that you need to answer. And the first one is, what type of influence do I want to have? Is it sharing? Is it offering? Is it providing? Is it giving? So what is it exactly? Where do I want to locate and position myself? Is it about education? Is it about insight? Is it about inspiration, encouragement? Is it about creating a message where people belong to a community? What is it exactly that you're trying to do? So you have to kind of have a niche. Like, for instance, my niche is education, which it fits well with my educational background because I have been in academia all my life. My mission in life has been to improve people's life through self-education, through traditional education, through learning, through digital literacy and information literacy. So this is pretty much what I spent my adult life doing in an academic environment. And then I moved it into entrepreneurship with the same mindset. So my influence, or my arena of influence, is I want to educate people. I want to help people improve their lives and change destiny in a way. So I have a specific niche. So then when you determine the niche, it's not enough. You have to dive into your passion. And then you align, or you create some kind of a tree with your niche here, which is the education, and connect it to the different passions you have to be able to influence people through a specific channel. But you must absolutely understand if you want to share education or insight, or if you have wisdom or unique message to be able to influence your audience.
That's an interesting answer. So my question to you is how someone discover her passion. So there are a lot of people around the world who don't know what is their passion. So how did you discover their passion?
Well, that's a really good question. I did have a guest on my show, Shaba Speaks, a few months ago. His name is Raymond Aaron, and he is a New York Times bestseller author, and he's a coach and a podcaster and so on and so forth. And he really gave me a really good answer in terms how you discover your passion. It's really the connection you have. It's the things you feel like you do in a very natural way that brings you joy and that people also around you identify as you're good at. So we have different ways of figuring out and extracting passion. So first of all is you have to spend some time with yourself. If you don't know yourself, you cannot answer these questions. A lot of people enter into business, endeavors, initiatives, get into entrepreneurships without really taking the time to reflect, to know oneself. So then they get into a business and then they realize that they're not good at it, they hate it, and it becomes kind of a chore. So the passion has to be something that, it's the last thing you think about when you go to bed. It's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning. And throughout the day, as you do it, I'm not saying it's easy, okay? I'm not saying it's easy. But what I'm saying, it's that burning fire that you have in doing something. It can be photography. I've been doing photography since I was 14 years old. I remember my buying my first camera out of money like that I saved from what people and my grandmother was giving me. I saved for months and then I got the little Zenith. And then I was passionate every time I took it to the streets and I started shooting and discovering the world. So that's what passion is about, is that burning fire that you have that connects you to what you do. It can be cooking. I love cooking. It can be sports. It can be, so whatever it is that you feel you enjoy doing, try to match it with people's needs. Because, for instance, if you are passionate about building something, but nobody needs it, nobody wants it, it's not a passion that matches reality. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, it's about solving people's problems and connecting it with your passion. And sometimes people fell too much in love with their passion and they don't realize that they have to adjust certain things or make some changes. So there are really different ways of discovering, like we talk with our clients about a process of discovery, asking questions. It's why you want to do what you want to do, what is it that you're passionate about, what you like, what you're good at. And sometimes if you're not sure 100%, ask people around you who know you well, who you trust, and then ask them. Go to your spouse, to your brother, to your sister, to your best friend, and say, hey, what do you think I'm really good at? What do you see me I can do with ease? And I did that process myself. It's like I went to my best friends and the people who see me in the scenes when we go out and speak and, connect with the community. And I asked those people and I said, what is it that you think I'm really good at? And one of my friends actually, he said, you're good at feeding people and I love eating, because a lot of time I did that. So don't be shy and take criticism to a good heart. Like if you, for instance, you want to be a public speaker and you have hard time speaking, or you're shy, or you're scared, or you're not confident, that's probably not something you want to jump into it right away. So if your friends say, I know you really like to be a speaker, but you need to learn the process and the protocol and gain those skills before you jump in. So be patient sometimes in really understanding what you're good at. And if you're younger, again, age sometimes is a very important factor. I'm not 20, so I went through a long process of experiencing different things, and I have my own share of mistakes. So if you're young, try to rely on someone who's older, who has more experience in life, more knowledge, more expertise, because truly it can save you time and money, because that's what mentorship is about. You get like 10, 15 years of somebody who's done it, and they know what to do, what not to do, and they can bring you that package and really save you a lot of time and money and get you where you need to be faster and also more efficient. That's what we want to emphasize. When you get a mentor who has experience, they have the ability to get you there without enduring all the mismatches and the misfaults or the missteps that you can be getting into.
That's an amazing answer. I also learned a lot of things from your answer. So my next question to you is, how to convert your passion into profession, because there is a difference between them. How to convert your passion into profession? Explain it.
So first of all, if you define or you understand what are your passion, well, what is your passion, and I like to believe that because I'm a Muslim, I believe in Allah, and I like to believe that Allah had all given us tools that help us in life to be successful. In other words, Allah did not send us to this planet setting us for failure. It's the opposite. He gave us the tools, the resources, the tests, the phases we need to go through as well to become better and stronger, to really empower us into becoming the best version of ourselves. Because truly, that's what living life is about. It's being the better version of your life, to worshiping Allah, and to, being an ambassador on this earth for the betterment of humanity. This is, to me, the mission of why we're here on this planet. So when you determine what your passion is, and again, I like to think that we have more than one passion. Your passion is meaningless. It's not if it's not connected to people's problems, right? So there are a lot of things that we see out there and people do them. For instance, I live in America. I see all kinds of stuff that sometimes I just question, like, what is that for? Because that's not a need for me. Okay. But there is somebody out there, whatever it is, there is somebody out there who might be interested. So once you figure out what your passion is, what you like to do or love to do, what you're good at, because you need to like and you need to be good, like skills and passions should be the same or aligned. You have to find the right people that you are meant to help. Okay. So if, for instance, you are good at making pretzels, right? This little wiry thing. And I don't eat pretzels, so clearly I'm not going to be your customer. But maybe somebody else who really likes to eat, pretzels, and if you make them in a different flavors, whatever else, those are your clients. So the way you turn that passion into a business, it's understanding what problem you are solving. But that's not enough. You have to understand who has that problem and where to find them. If your problem is to create an app that gives you solutions to how, for instance, to drywall, or to, measure how a nail needs to go into a stud and so on and so forth, those people who don't do it, they're not going to use you. They're not going to use or look for your solution. And how do you do that? You go and do audience research. You go and study your market. You go, for instance, to YouTube, and you type in something like, who eats the biggest pretzel, or who wants a pretzel, and then you have a recipe for pretzel, or recipe for drywalling, or how to take a nice shot with my iPhone 12 in the dark, something like that. You go to YouTube or Google, and then you start looking at what people are talking about. So you look at the video, for instance, that has the highest audience, that has the highest views, that has a lot of interaction, and then you start looking at the comments of the people, and you extract that. You extract, oh, I like my pretzels to be crispy or soft, or I tried this recipe and it didn't work, or that recipe is a little bit too long. Or that's how you study your market, and you start capturing that data. It's actually data analytics. And then you start looking into how you can put something in the market that is your passion, that is you're good at, and understanding where the people need that and how you can give them something better. Does it make sense?
Yes, it's an amazing answer. I also learned from it. So amazing. Nice to talking with you. So next I want to ask you, explain social media influencers. Who are they? And what are the working they are doing on social media? Like first you already tell me about influencer. Now I want to ask you about social media influencer. Please explain it.
Well, I mean, it's really an interesting topic because there are so many different platforms on social media. And you may think that, oh, you are popular, so you have to understand how algorithms work. You have to understand how people interact on a certain social media platform, because the rules don't apply everywhere. So what I did notice, though, is that just because you are popular on one platform and people follow you on one platform doesn't mean that they will follow you somewhere else. For instance, I noticed that there are some gurus out on Instagram. And on Instagram, they're very popular. They get thousands and thousands and thousands of views. But then you go to Facebook or you go to YouTube or whatever, it doesn't carry. So you really have to be very realistic. That's number one. Influencer, you have to learn what each platform demands and requires to be able to build your follow over there. But thinking that just because you're popular on Facebook and you have a big follow on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Twitter for that matter, and Twitter is a whole different story. But these three systems that can integrate, and because they're kind of owned by the same company, Instagram and Facebook, so it's easier to think of it that way. Oh, I have a big follow on Instagram, so they're going to come chase me on Facebook or on YouTube. And that's not the case. So we have to understand that. Second misstep here is that you go, for instance, to certain social media platforms and you see that they have a huge subscribers or follow base. As you know, or you don't know, you can actually purchase those follow. There are companies out there, they give you a shout out. For a certain amount of money, you can get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 follow subscribers. You can actually buy them. However, the trick with that, so I'm telling people, please don't fall for it. The trick with that is you have a number of subscribers, a number of follow, but you don't have organic interest in you. So meaning when you do posts, and I've noticed it, the next time you go to Instagram, please check it out, that you see a name with thousands of followers or subscribers, but then when you start looking at their posts, they have 5 or 12 or 16. So that means the followers have no interest in what they're saying. So be careful with that because it's going to harm your image. You would rather have organic, true followers that you build slowly and certainly by understanding your niche, your message, and so on and so forth, and be able to build your fan base like that. Because I think it's very embarrassing if you have 10,000 followers and only 5 likes or 5 views on your post. It means already that is fake. And nowadays, there is more fake than authentic. There is more just show off than true interactions. And this is not an influencer. So this is a good way for you to already sift through what you're following. These are the things that I look for. So I look like for when I see influencers with big numbers, big price tags, I go and really take the time to look at their pages, because if it's someone who pays to get subscribers, pays to get followers, that means his message is not resonating well. So social media sensation doesn't happen overnight. You build yourself slowly, but certainly. Have a niche, and it's okay to have multiple niches. For instance, in Instagram, I used to have one page, one account, and I was posting a lot of different things. And I think that's kind of confusing to people. So now I kind of split it. I take my personal account, which is Shaba Shams, and I created sub-accounts, like sub-niches or different niches. So I am creating an academy for teaching online. So that's going to be a one account or one page on itself. I am traveling. I like to travel. So I have an account that I call Travel Dad Memoir, that only I post stuff about travels. So this is what you need to be as an influencer on social media. Understand your niche, create authentic, organic follow. In other words, don't pay to have subscribers who don't give a care about what you say. I would rather have 3 people who are interested in my content and watch it and benefit from it than have thousands of followers who you know what I mean? It's like, it is just so fake. So don't do that, because people are aware, people are aware when they see you have thousands of subscribers and then only 5 people viewed your content. That means it's not authentic. So social media, pick the followers, pick the people that and aligned with you. I have a lot of interests, like my followers, the people that I follow, for instance, on Instagram. I love cooking, so I have people who cook. I like traveling, so I have people who travel. I have, of course, business and entrepreneurs, so I follow those people. And then you break it down into sub niches, and actually you can build a pyramid. That way you will have a different crowd for anything. And then again, be patient and be consistent. I think the biggest problem with social media is that a lot of us are not consistent in getting out messages on a regular basis. And because of how much there is, like 500 million, I think, users, active users on a daily basis on Instagram. 60 to 70% go to Instagram for discovery. And then they are interested in business to buy and sell and stuff like that. Again, if we do understand how people use that platform, I think we can get more successful at taking advantage and maximizing it.
That's an amazing conversation. So the thing that I learn from your messages: don't buy subs and followers. So it's a scam or fraud, and don't comes into it. So next question to you is: what is your suggestion about on which social media platform? There is YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Facebook. On which social media platform if someone want to influencer, then which one social media platform he or she would going to start? So what is your suggestion on it?
You are not gonna like my answer. You're not. Nobody's gonna like my answer, but it's an answer that I came up with after watching and observing and being myself a social media consumer. I would say all of them. All of them. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. All of them, because every demographic is different. The people who hang out in Facebook are different from Instagram, and different in TikTok, are different. Even like the topics, even the focus and the themes. For instance, I think Twitter. I'm not a user of Twitter. I tried it a few times and I just walked away from it because it frustrates me more than anything else. I feel like people attack each other on Twitter a little more than any other platform, and it's very political, unfortunately, for Twitter. So, but if you are into politics, again, business also, but Twitter has a different demographics. People who don't like people attacking each other and using offensive language. Twitter is definitely not for me, as long as I'm concerned. For me, Instagram, a lot of people go there. They like to show off. They like to look good. And they spend a lot of money on, even getting photographs done professionally and videos. So Instagram, I see it evolving more into a younger generation, but generation with money. In fact, I forgot the percentage of Instagram that is actually 60,000 income a year and higher. And they actually use Instagram for business. They go there, they want to look good. So the likelihood of them swiping and checking out purchases is very high. So if you really want to focus on a business and you want to interact or integrate with a crowd that has money, that make purchases, I think Instagram is actually a platform that is moving towards that kind of business. Facebook, I know people talk a lot about Facebook marketing. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. And I think Facebook is more used to network, used to, get messages out and connect with people. I don't use LinkedIn, but I should. And YouTube, of course, is very well known that, it's for monetizing. People take the time to build self-education content that they provide for others. And then, we should, in fact, encourage people to be on YouTube unless there is another platform that's coming out. I think I heard a couple of ones that I haven't checked out. So yeah, the answer is everywhere. TikTok also is coming out very heavy and very strong, especially for the younger ones. I would say, the millennials and the generation Z. Again, be everywhere. I am at the edge of being a baby boomer and Generation X, so I belong to two different generations. Yeah, so I adapt to the younger generation and I adapt to the older generation. And Facebook, for instance, it is known that mainly older people are there, like older in terms of age bracket, but it's also 2 billion. It's also 2 billion users that we have on Facebook. So I think it's a lot of traffic that we can take advantage of. And having a business strategy or a business plan where you incorporate all the platforms and you have the manpower to do so, I think it would be an awesome way of reaching out and growing your business. Even I would say even without really paying for ads, because if you have access to all these platforms and you're consistent and you have a consistent message and building a follow, then I don't think you really need to spend tons of money on ads the way most businesses are going crazy on right now.
That's an amazing conversation. So my last question to you is how to earn money as an influencer. It's the biggest question that everyone want to ask. So please explain how to earn money as an influencer.
Well, you have to understand where is your niche. What is it that you want to be known for? What is it that you want to be, building your audience and have a follow and an impact on? There is, for instance, a lady that I follow, and she has a travel channel on Instagram, and she pretty much just travels and goes from hotel to hotel, and she has a huge, huge follow there. Well, she earns money by getting free travel, airline tickets, going to different hotels and resorts and things like that. And sometimes, she would post or make a comment about a place and she gets paid for it. So the more people follow you, the more you are noticed and noticeable. And of course, companies now, instead of paying, I don't know, like the traditional marketing, they use influencers pretty much to get their product out and to market their product or services for that matter. So you could be making really good money. In fact, on Instagram, the reason I'm talking a lot about Instagram, because I've been researching Instagram a lot lately and I'm kind of getting a better understanding. I've had an Instagram account for a long time, but I've never really thought about it from a business standpoint. So for me, it was just like, oh yeah, you post and really there is more to it. And I would encourage the listeners here to grow or scale out from Facebook and then get into Instagram, because it's truly the future, especially when you understand the type of demographic that is on Instagram. The community in Instagram, they have money and they go there to 60 to 70% to discover new product and new services for the purpose of purchasing. That's the idea. People on Instagram do not window shop. People on Instagram, they go there, they are influenced by what they see and they buy, and they have the power to buy. That's what's different, from Facebook, for instance. So this is what I'm saying. I've been paying more attention to Instagram because it's truly the future. A lot of people go there, all ages. So clearly you want to invest with younger generations because longevity wise, it's right there. And you need to understand pretty much how you can make money. In fact, it goes from $100 to $100 as to $10,000. In fact, there is a celebrity that get paid $1 million for one post on Instagram. So just imagine, the level, the more influence you have, people following you in your niche, of course. If you are, for instance, if you're about traveling, you don't expect somebody bringing you like, a cooking pot, and they say, unless it's like, oh, I like to travel and here is a way of cooking when I'm camping, for instance. That would be, so you have to think about a niche, and there is a very nice pyramid that I can share with you guys, that I started building on how you go from your personal account to creating niches and then sub niches. And yeah, it takes time to build an audience for each niche, but take your time. As long as it's focused, I think you will be fine.
That's an amazing conversation. So thank you so much, Sabah Shamas, for giving me your valuable time. It's an honor for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other question, go to Sabah Shamas YouTube channel. Sabah Speaks, I think Sabah Speaks. So, if you want to know more about his influencing or social media influencer, so comment on it this post and ask directly question to your Sabah Shamas. Thank you so much.
Thank
Love you
you.
all. Stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you.